Hey there everybody, I have been working on a new update for Gladatora and I have made a lot of changes to the game. One of the big adjustments I made is window skins. I've recently gone through pretty much all of them and at least tuned them up some, made changes to them, restructured the order you get them, and all of that kind of stuff. Now, most of the window skins I used were made by a couple different people, but I have gone in and edited them to make them fit more in my game. Credits to the amazing artists that made the window skins originally are listed in the credits section. So if we go down to artwork, some of these people may have made a couple of the window skins in the game. Shout out to Scotty TV, as I know he is one of them, and so is Leanne. Those are two window skin creators. Anyway, let's take a look at the new setup. So this is now the basic default window skin. It's the same borders as it had before, but there is this cool little black, almost padded background that you see, which gives it a nice texture. And I think an overall much cleaner look. And that's what I went for with a lot of these window skins, is just cleaning things up, realigning some things, and just making it look a little more professional overall. So let's check out the next one. This is a metal skin. I believe this is actually by Scotty. This is one that I did very little to because it's a nice, clean, sleek one. I didn't want to adjust it much. It did have a little logo kind of thing that appeared up here in the corner of these windows. I removed it on this version of the skin, but not the alternate version. Next, we have this version. This is the Cobalt skin. I believe this is also a Scotty window skin. And I didn't really make any changes to this other than this background here, this blue and black. I gave it a slightly different and I guess more even gradient. All right, what do we got next? This one used to have a really plain background and I changed the color and gave it a bit of this kind of parchment texture in the background. It's really plain, but it looks nice. Next, we got this one. I'm a big fan. Again, it's this background texture was not here. These squares, I added that in and gave it a slightly different shading pattern, and that created the look you see here, and it works. Next this was like the second window skin I used in Gladatora, and I still use this yellowish border in some of the other parts of Gladatora. What I added again was this texture in the background. It's got a very similar tiled effect as the border does, and I think it works really well with it. Ooh, this one. This is another metallic looking one, and yeah, it looked great before, nice clean silver, grays, metals, but I added this background and I just loved it. So it had to stay. And what do we got next? The MayaQuest window skin. I figured, why don't I have a branded window skin in here? A nice simple clean one that you can use, and you can even change the colors as you want, but overall it uses my MayaQuest's colors of orange and black. And there we go, we're back at the default window skin. Now these are all the starting window skins, but there's a bunch of window skins you can unlock through explorer points in the game. So let's hop on in a game and check those out. Now, here I am in my testing area, and if I go down here to loot, I can get 3,000 explorer points. Let's see what we got now. All right, here's our first new one, the Overgrown one. This is another Scotty one. He made some really cool window skins. And what I did is I added this background texture again. To me, it reminds me of sort of like a jungly Mayan maybe texture, and I think it works really well with this window skin. Next, we got the old lava skin. This is, I think, my third window skin I used as my default window skin for Gladatora. And I added these scales. I think for a lava fire style skin, these dark red scales work really well. Plus, they go well with the alternate frozen version. Next, we have the sand window skin. This was my very first window skin I used in Gladatora, but it didn't use to look as good. The sand layer here was really zoomed in and stretched and just didn't look that great, so I redid that texture and now it looks like a clean, sandy window skin, and I love it. Next, we got the gilded window skin. Again, as with all the other ones, I added a bit of a texture pattern to the background just to give it a little more detail, but this was already a highly detailed window skin, so it didn't really need it, but I wanted to put my own spin on it. The dojo skin. This one, I only changed the gradient back here. It's the same gradient as before, it's just a little bit smoother of a gradient. Here we have one I've been working on for a while, and I don't know if this is going to be its finished state yet, but this is where it's at. I wanted a white bordered window skin because it's kind of fitting that Greek Roman look. and this one really fit the bill, but it had a lot of things I just wasn't quite happy with. So I've been tuning it up and I've got it to this state. I'd say the biggest issue at this point is this background. I don't know if I like this texture as a background, but it works. The problem is with the white text, it can be really hard to see if I put any kind of light white background back here. So I need something darker, and this is the best thing I've come up with so far, but still working on it. Here we have the pink window skin. I didn't do anything to this because it didn't need anything. Look how clean this is. It's perfect already. Here we have the aqua window skin. I put these blue scales in on the background, and I think it works. On this skin, I added this red weaving look, and I added a nice shading pattern to the overall picture as well as each individual little weaving, and I think that made it look a lot more realistic and just good. I like this window skin. And the frozen skin. If you remember the lava skin, this is the frozen version of it. The borders are frozen, and this background texture is new and very similar to the scales of the lava one, but opposite in blue and a little different, more watery, but I really like it. This is one of Leanne's window skins. I added 2 of hers in this new version. This one was added because I didn't have any purple window skins and I was trying to cover some color bases there. And while it was already a really high quality, nice skin, I went ahead and I switched out this background texture. Before it had actually what would be a tiny pixelated version of this pattern here, but I made it a much larger, similar pattern. And I really love the way the edits came out. And here we go, another one from Leanne. It was originally a starry sky look in the background here, but it kind of interfered with the text, so I switched out that texture for this texture, and I just love it. I'm a big fan of this background texture. It's nice and clean and just gives it a good feel. And finally, the newest and final skin you unlock so far in the game, the Mayan skin. It's a golden version of the metal skin. It's clean, it's golden, it's beautiful. Gotta love it. So there's a really quick overview of all the window skins, the state they're at, and just a bit of a peek into the polish coming with a new update. Should be out soon, so keep your eyes out. But for now, I'll see everybody later.